You won't fail this time. Somebody say that. I won't fail this time.
I won't fail this time.
Give you a little history. I think history is important. If you're going to go anywhere, it's important to know where you've been. And the Lake of Gennesaret was named after the town. And it was positioned on the northwest corner, and it's called the sea, also called the Sea of Galilee, or the Lake of Tiberias. And today it's the largest body of fresh water in Israel, and it's the world's lowest body of fresh water at 700 feet below sea level. And at the time of Jesus' ministry, it was a wealthy fishing area filled with boats. But in my history, I found out that very few boats are seen there now. And in Luke, it tells us that he got into one of the boats, which was Simon's. And he asked him to put him out a little way from the land. And as he sat down, he began teaching the people of God from the boat. And when he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, put out in the deep water and let it down for a drought. Now, I've heard people preach this and they say a drought. They are two different things. One is the overflow of things. The other is where things have dried up. All right? So he said to let down your net for a drought. I want you to notice that Jesus sat down to preach, and the customary teaching of the position for rabbis at the time, that was customary. And this miracle is repeated at the beginning of Jesus' ministry and as a reminder to the disciples at the end. And after teaching this, Jesus encouraged Peter, which is the same as Simon Peter, to get back in the boat to work, even telling him where to cast his net down. And the Lord spoke to me there, this particular verse. He says, while he was speaking, what was happening was the waters were being conditioned for what they needed. And I say this often to you all, that the Lord never shows up on the scene to spectate. He always shows up to be a blessing. He shows up to leave something. He always shows up to make a deposit. This word made me more talk today than this hoot, okay? You can't equip those who refuse to show up. Amen. You have to pour into those that are available and willing. That's why they should have caught me very early in my pastoring. That's why I don't shed tears for those that leave on purpose. I have to use my oil for those that remain faithful and unmovable. Amen. Oh yeah, I just said something real heavy right there. Amen. I don't waste tears for people that leave on purpose. My oil has to be reserved for people that remain faithful and unmovable. Amen. So, verse 4 says, well, let me go back to that. Would we be humble enough to receive directions from someone not in our profession? Most of us wouldn't, because most of us would tell people, this is not even your area of profession. I don't need to take advice from you. This is my area of profession. Okay? So, Jesus wants to bless Peter's work as he wants to bless our work. Verse 4 says, and when he had left speaking, in other words, when he was finished speaking, he said unto Simon, put out into the deep and let your nets down for a draught. And when the Lord totally shifts your schedule and your plans, follow him. There's always a reason. Sometimes you have to pull away to pull out of the heavens.
Amen.
That was a powerful nugget. Sometimes you have to pull away to pull out of the heavens. And this next place of fruition that we're stepping into demands another depth of prayer.